Kevin Love still.
He turns into Chris Bosh. He turns into what Chris Bosh did was for Miami. That's who he's going to be. That's who he's going to be.
Right.
It's going to be exactly the same thing. And for everybody that wants to say Kevin Love was better than Chris Bosh, they average almost the same crap. And when Chris was in Toronto, then when Kevin was in Minnesota, Chris Bosh did the same kind of jump. Chris Bosh has gotten better, and y'all are going to see how good he is this year.
So, with that being said, yes, Kevin Love got a lot to prove. Kyrie Irving, who had this Cavs team, and they were supposed to be an up-and-coming young nucleus. They was projected to make the playoff last year.
Now they're an up-and-coming old nucleus.
They did not make the playoffs. They got the number one pick again. And
because of why? He got hurt.
Yeah.
Ooh! Surprise!
So with that, Kyrie, even though he had a great showing for Team USA, can that carry over to the NBA season? If it does, great. If he stay healthy, great. Then yes, it'd be hopefully learn from the experience and prove himself, because this is a young team also with David Blatt. While he's an international juggernaut, he's coming to a situation in the NBA where he's unproven, and why they're actually praising his acclimates over there on the other side of the country. We'll see how he would do coaching over here and having a lot of egos that he has in Kevin Love, LeBron James, and Kyrie Irving. And then you already got rumors of Tristan Thompson wanting an extension worth $12 million a year, so that could be a distraction as well. So there's a lot of things he's got to do in his first year. So we'll see how Mr. Black step up to the plate. The ownership, we know they have been spotty the last few years as far as like management and picking. So now that you got a lot of talent, let's see what you can do to still have the Cavs in contention. Yeah, Kevin mentioned their team is a little older. Yes, you bring in veterans, but what happens when they get a little bit older, their contract runs up and everything like that? What I'm talking about as far as like their talent now. And
little older. Compared to what they were last year, they're old as fuck, man.
Right, no, but that's not what I'm saying. I'm saying like their core talent now, when they get older and want extensions, and you got to manage that. Let's see how they put in that situation. And see
they're not. Well, the people that are a little younger, when they want extensions, aren't going to want extensions anymore because LeBron's going to be old and gone. Are you going to want to play for a crappy team when you're going into the highlight of your career? No. You want to go somewhere where you can win. You're going to do what everybody else is doing and following the best player around whatever team he goes to.
Yeah.
And that's what people are doing now.
I don't think Tristan Thompson would get $12 million a year. That's just my opinion. So
I don't know. Have you seen what people get in the NBA?
True. That's a
people a lot shittier have gotten a lot more money.
Yeah, that's true.
Chris Duhon. What'd y'all get Ben Gordon?
Ben Gordon. I don't want to discuss that.
My prime example right there.
So
what did you get Ben Gordon?
2 years for 4.5.
Oh, there you go.
So a little bit that's what it is. So we'll go ahead and we'll see what they do. We're just discussing some of the little quick hits about NBA Media Day. Eric Spoelstra came in and said, and him and his team is definitely trying to look past. They're not even trying to acknowledge the whole LeBron leaving. Like you already got Chalmers saying that guy, they're not trying. They're trying to say, listen, that was a time of our past that we enjoyed, yes, but this is a new beginning. And as Eric Spoelstra said, I'm looking at this as a blank canvas. Tomorrow we start putting this together. This is a new team that they got. Kevin knows his team better than I do, so I'll let him speak on this. And what do you think about Spro's comments?
What he's saying is, now we got all this. Now we're going to be even more defensive minded than we used to be. And the guy who was putting up 21 and something before has gotten even better than he was in Toronto, and now he's going to be the vocal point of our offense. So now you're going to see a 25-10 Chris Bosh now, and everybody's going to forget about the 16-7 because he was taking on a third-person role. It's going to be a completely looking team. They're going to rebound better. I know it's hard to fathom that a team without LeBron now is all of a sudden going to rebound better, but with the guys they brought in, they're going to rebound better. Rick Roberts is going to make the rebounding go up because that's what he does. Luol Deng, one of the better defenders out there, fits right into the mold how they're going to go. The team's going to be a completely different team. They're not going to run as much. They're not going to try to run and gun you. They're not going to try. I don't think they're going to try to space as much as they did before. They're not going to have that 3-point where they put in one guy and 3-point shooter. It's not going to be about space anymore. It's going to be about taking up real estate, more or less, when they put in their bigger people. Danny Granger just had his knee scoped, so they're going to be taking that Dwayne Wade approach with him, giving him some days off and stuff like that. But as long as he can come off the bench and contribute, be fine. Dwayne Wade leaned down. People were talking about Dwayne Wade's old, and he's not old, people. Just get off the old stuff. If you don't know why his knees are so bad, it's because they took out his meniscus or his MCL when he tore it in college. They just took it out instead of doing what they do nowadays and fixing everything. They didn't have that back then, I guess, or Marquette was just lazy. But they took it out. Hence why his knee's so bad, because they took a ligament out of his leg. It's not because he's old. It's not because of this. It's not because of that. If he would still have his MCL in there, he'd still be tearing people up like he used to. But he just got wear and tear on his leg because of that, and he doesn't have the support that ligament gives you. So, first off, if you didn't know that, you didn't know what you were talking about, you still need to go do some research. That's why I hate listening to people always yap about something. Did he show up when he needed to show up? No. But that's the reason why, because his knee is almost shot. But it wasn't because of him getting older or anything like that. It's because they did it wrong. If they didn't do it wrong, you'd still be looking at a guy who's putting up, who we wouldn't be talking about Chris Bosh being the centerpiece of this team. We'd be talking about Dwayne Wade being the centerpiece of this team and him scoring 28 a game and doing what he did before. But they're going to be it's going to be a different style of team. Chris Bosh has gotten better. His jumper's better. He's going to go back. He already said he's worked out, gained a little muscle. So now he's going to be going into the post-ups more, which, if you've seen him in Toronto, he was killing people when he would do those moves because he had that little shake move. He said he's been working with the guy who, what's the kid's name from? He used to play for Arizona. He was the point guard for Arizona when Simon.
Okay.
He's working with him and another guy, and he worked with them in the offseason to. He's trying to. They almost saying that his game now is mirroring kind of how Dirk Nowitzki's game is, to where he's hitting fadeaway jumpers and he's doing that, but he's doing it effective from the post as well. So what they're trying to do is turn him into a miniature Dirk, or not a miniature Dirk because they're almost the same size, but into a different type of version of Dirk.
Dirk-like.
Yeah, Dirk. They want to make his game Dirk-like, where he can work from the post and everything like that, hit the little turnaround jump.
Operate on the mid post and try
exactly.
and then either have a triple threat with the jump shot or the move to the.
But
he's
a good passer, and that's what's underrated for Chris Bosh. Chris Bosh is a good passer. You just haven't seen it the last years because that wasn't his job. His job was to stand out, spread the floor, and be a four that can take whoever out to the 3-point line and nail jumpers. Mm-hmm. That's what his job turned out to be for the years he was there. So now you're just going to see a completely different type of Chris Bosh as he goes towards looking like he did in Toronto. Okay. But people don't focus on that thing. People go, well, look what he did the last 3 years. Oh, shut up. God, y'all, it's irritating. Look what he did the last 4 years. When for the last 4 years he had a different role, you stupid moron. Jesus Christ, pay attention.
And then, matter of fact, you mentioned Luol Deng. And Luol Deng actually came out and said that he forgives Danny Ferry for the racial comments. And for him, that's pretty good for him because he's being shown that he's being a bigger man. And you know what? As people say some stuff like that, you can't really you can't tune into that. You can't let it affect you at all. People just say some dumb things. And Luol Deng has always been, as you know him, he's always go about his business, very quiet, very self-reserved.
He's a professional guy.
Yeah, very professional, self-reserved. You don't never really see him run his mouth at all. So at the time, of course he tweeted like, yes, I am African, but he was showing pride of who he is in himself. But, this is Deng. His personality. He's just real laid back, and he's like, listen, the guy made a mistake. It is what it is. I'm focused on my camp with the Miami Heat. Go from there. And he made a mistake. So, I mean, do you condemn him for being a bigger man or respect him?
Good for him. But while we're talking about racial comments and everything like that, so Danny Ferry supposedly said something that was said to him by a different person. Correct?
Mm-hmm.
Why is everybody terming Danny Ferry as a racist? Because he said something that was said to him by a different person.
He just got caught on the audio.
Did we ever call Charles Barkley a racist for talking about people from Angola during the Olympics? When he talked about people from Angola doing whatever they do over there, making shoes or whatever he talked about them doing during the 92 Olympics? No. You see what I'm getting at here? We have changed so much as a society to now if we say one thing incorrect or politically incorrect, or if we say the wrong thing about anybody, that we go off on people. You know what everybody did in 92 when Charles Barkley made comments? They laughed. Fucking blew it off and laughed. But now all of a sudden it's because I guarantee you the same type of comments were getting made back then that they are now. It's just we have become a society full of just godforsaken wusses about almost every single thing that gets said. That as soon as one small little thing gets said, and might not even have gotten said by that person, that we go crazy and we label them a racist all of a sudden. Come on. The dude from the Hawks that wrote what he wrote in the email, it wasn't even racist. It was based on race, but it wasn't racist. He based it off of what he was thinking as a business model. He wasn't being racist about it. He was basing it off of the race that goes to the games and how they do stuff there pertaining to a race, but he was not being racist. There's a difference between being racist and saying something about someone of a different race. And we take everything, if somebody says something about a different race, we take them as a racist. Just because we're mentioning something about somebody being a different color or a different culture or something like that doesn't mean we're being racist towards it. Just like Charles back in 92. He wasn't being racist towards it. He was talking about a different race and he was trying to be funny and everybody laughed it off. Now, if he would have said that, people would have murdered him. He would have been crucified in the media if he would have said something like that now.
Yeah.
But that shit, my view is, stop. Everybody needs to slow it down a little bit, bring it down. Is what Donald Sterling said racist? Yes. Is what the dude from Atlanta... Just take a look at what the dude from the Atlanta Hawk had in the email and take a look at what Donald Sterling said. You can't even compare the two. The one guy was talking about the business model of his franchise and what they needed to do to bring in more white fans. That is what his focus of his thing was. Because typically, white fans come and spend more money at games. It's a fact.
Well, see,
and that's what he was focusing on.
But the thing that he should have really focused on too, because Atlanta's very like
Atlanta's black,
and it's got a lot of money with the black people. There's a lot of black population.
Exactly,
there that
but
is rich.
do those people go to the basketball game? And do those people go to the football game? No, that's what he's trying to say.
Yeah,
there's a lot of black money there, but they don't go and do what they need to do. So he needs to focus on getting the white money to come as well. When the white money doesn't want to come to your games, then you want to focus on how to get those people to come. You
should have made a bid proposal for both instead of just like...
Well, he's obviously made the proposal that the black people are going to the games. You don't need to make a proposal when black people are already going to your games.
He's saying that the black people that are like actually buying this cheap product here and everything like that. And then the way he worded it, he could have actually worded it a little bit better. That was the problem.
Yes, but he wasn't being racist about it.
I know he wasn't. He wasn't being racist.
If he would have said these stupid N-words need to stop going to our basketball game, then he was being racist about it. No, but he was. But this is where everybody blew it out of proportion. Everybody made it think that he was being racist about it when he wasn't being racist about it. That's because he did the reason he did what he did is because he thought everybody was going to take it and make it a racist issue, that he was a racist, he needed to be put out and everything like that, when it was far from the truth that he was being racist. He was not being a racist whatsoever.
And that part I do agree with you as well, but he needs to also focus on that because there's still a lot of money as far as the black community there. Atlanta,
but they don't go to the basketball games.
Let me finish. You said they don't go to the basketball games, but he needs to also try to put a plan out there to get them in there as well. Where is a rich, wealthy, also the white community there. He needs to actually attack both because Atlanta It's got a lot of black money there. Like
but they're already doing things to attract the black people to the games.
If he gave stats that's saying that these certain people didn't buy this much merchandise, he